Hi guys, welcome to Thermomix Facebook Live. I'm Shamsydar and I was a finalist on the MasterChef Singapore in 2018 and I have been a Thermomix user ever since then. I have a TM6 at home and I love it so much. I use it to make a lot of stuff, mainly my breads, cakes, and of course, the occasional savory dishes, which is mainly my Malay food. I really love it because it allows me to blend everything quickly and then I can cook it in the same machine, in the same bowl, and then after that add my meat and protein and whatnot. And a dish is ready within less than 1 hour, which saves me a lot of time. Especially since I just gave birth like in February, so that was like 5 months ago, about 5 months ago. Yeah, and it helps me a lot in handling my day-to-day activities, and which mostly revolves around food. You know, I cannot not cook or bake. Even though I have a baby, even if he's crying, I'll have him in one hand, I'll be baking or whatever with the other. Because it's just me, I have to cook or bake every day. Alright? And today, since it's Hari Raya Haji coming soon, I'm making Mee Siam kuah. Now, Mee Siam is probably a simple breakfast dish for most of us, you know, and I realized that it takes a lot of effort when you make it because there's a lot of garnish, you have to blend stuff, you have to make sure that the sauce is there, the stock is there, and then you've got to make sure that you stir fry the bee hoon. So instead of using multiple stoves and multiple pots and pans, I'm just going to be using one machine. You can make this with one machine, but to speed things up, okay, because we are doing this for Facebook Live, so remember to like and share, okay, like and share guys. Save this video so you can share it with your friends as well. We're going to be using 2 machines today just for convenience sake. Like I said, you can make this with one machine. I have done this recipe at home and it took me less than half an hour, and I was done with the entire dish, okay? So to start things off, we're going to make the eggs first. We have 4 eggs. We're going to make it into hard-boiled eggs. We're just going to add it into our simmering basket, okay? Okay, and then I'm going to use the scales, and we're going to add 500 grams of water. How many grams is that? 300, another 200 grams or so. There's a bit more. All right. So we're going to cook the eggs, make it into hard-boiled eggs, 15 minutes. Speed varoma, and for just put it on speed 1, okay, and we're going to let that cook. In the meantime, we're going to make the rempah, okay. So also, while waiting for the eggs to cook, I have some bee hoon over here, okay, and I've soaked it with half of it. It's not full, you know, but just soak half of the bowl with normal tap water because we're going to cheat, and we're going to add the warm water from the hard-boiled eggs into the bee hoon, and then that saves you like half, actually more than you're gonna be using the bee hoon. You're gonna be cooking the bee hoon in a matter of 10 minutes with the warm water from the eggs. Okay. So in the meantime, let's do the rempah, the chili paste. Okay, we're gonna add onions, red onions, your normal bawang merah. Okay, you're gonna add garlic. Okay, and then I've got over here a mixture of dried shrimp and dried anchovies, basically your udang kering and ikan bilis. Okay, and I've soaked them. You can soak them in warm water if you want to, but I soaked it in normal tap water for about half an hour, and I've drained it off and rinsed it off. I'm just going to add this in. Okay, and then I'm going to add the red chilies. Okay, and also I've got over here dried chilies, which I've soaked in warm water. And let me just get a spoon. Okay. And you don't want the warm water, you just want to scoop it out, add the chilies in. Now again, it's really up to you how much chili you want. I used like maybe about 20 small pieces of dried red chilies and about 3 fresh red chilies, because I like it a little bit spicy. Now, Mee Siam is supposed to be a nice balance between spicy, sweet, savory, and sour, okay? So you've got the sourness coming from the tamarind as well as the tomato paste we're going to be using later, all right? And as well as the taochu, which is the fermented soybeans lah, okay? And I think the thing about Mee Siam, that seals the deal is the sweetness level. Now it can't be too sweet and it can't be too sour. Now you just have to add the right amount of sugar, and that's really up to you because it's going to ballpark it. You don't have to use the same exact amount as I do because my taste will be different from yours. Okay, so I'm just going to add the oil as well so that everything can be blended nicely. Okay, and I'm going to chop this up for 10 seconds at speed 10. Okay, now it's chopped nicely, but I want it to be fine. Now you can see that it's still not as fine as I would like to. So I'm going to cheat. I'm going to add a wee bit of water because I don't want to add any more oil. Okay, I'm going to scrape this down and make sure I get all this goodness of the rempah from the lid. Okay, I'm going to add a little bit of water, just a splash. And chop it up again. 10 seconds, speed 10. Okay, once again, remember to like and share this video, guys. Oh, beautiful. So I'm going to scrape everything down and now cook it, okay, in the same bowl. You just have to scrape it down, just make sure everything gets to the bottom of the mixing bowl and it gets cooked very nicely. And scrape everything down off the lid as well. And we are going to cook it in the very same bowl. Okay, so we're going to cook it for 5 minutes. 120 degrees. And speed stir. Okay, I will just let it be for a while. Okay, in the meantime, now I have everything ready, of course. But if you don't, this is where you can cut your tau pok, fried beancurd. Is it fried beancurd? Yeah, it's tau pok. I know it's tau pok. So prepare your tau pok, cut it into nice cubes, wash and clean your bean sprouts, cut your Chinese chives just into inch length, okay? And I've got some parsley for garnish, as well as some lime. And I think lime also seals the deal when you're eating mee siam. My husband doesn't like it with the lime, but I love it with the lime. Okay, and we're just going to prepare our tau chu, our tamarind paste, and our tomato paste or tomato puree. Okay, so now with this tamarind, now this is the seeded ones. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to pour some water. Okay, and I'm just going to get my hands dirty and mush it up, okay, so that I can pick the seeds out. And remember to like and share the video, guys. Okay, and also I've got chicken stock, prepared chicken stock, okay, that I'm going to add into the sauce. Okay, so I'm just going to use another bowl. We've got 7 minutes into the eggs and about 3 minutes with the spice base. Okay. Pretty much once the spice base is ready and when your eggs are ready, you are ready to dig in because it's a very fast process after this. Okay, I'm just picking out all the seeds. Now you could use a strainer, but I don't want to add any more water to the paste. I just like it as thick as possible. Just gonna clean this up one more time. Okay, so I've got a nice thick paste of tamarind over here, and I'm going to leave it for when the spice base and the broth is ready. Okay, I'm just going to clean up a little bit. Now in the meantime, if you do have any questions, just post your questions down below in the comments. I think this one is pretty straightforward. Now I'm using only about 2 tablespoons of oil. Mainly because the Thermomix does the cooking very well for me. I don't have to constantly stir it, and I want it to be a little bit more healthy, so I don't want to use too much oil when I'm making the rempah. Okay, you will see later that it will come and form together nicely. We're just going to let this cook a little bit more. Okay, and again, like I said, because we're soaking the bihun in almost boiling water, warm water, it will cook even faster, and it's going to be ready for serving in a while. Okay, in the meantime, I will get my chicken stock. So our eggs are ready. Just be careful because it's very, very hot. Okay, now I'm just going to set aside the cover. And I'm going to take out the serving basket and bring it over to the sink, okay, because I want to run the eggs through cold tap water, because you don't want to burn your hands, okay. And now this is where we cheat, or rather we save the resources. Use the remaining warm water and just pour it over the bihun. Okay, it's still pretty hot, and I'm going to add a little bit more water. And our rempah is ready as well. See? Everything is nice. Okay. So like I said, you can use one machine. You don't have to use 2. Okay. I'm just gonna mix up the bihun a little bit. You can see that this is still very hot. The water is very hot. I'm just gonna cover it up so that it will cook and soften nicely. So let me just cover up the bihun. The water is still pretty warm. Okay, so that it will soften nicely once the broth is ready. Okay? Okay, so now, since I'm using 2 machines today, I'm going to separate the rempah. One is for the sauce and one is for the stir-fried bihun, because we want the bihun, Mee Siam, it's pretty easy. So we're going to set aside like 1/3 of the rempah from here into this bowl. Okay. A little bit more. Got pretty much. Okay. Okay, and this is for the sauce. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to add the remaining ingredients, which is the chicken stock into this. Okay, we're going to add the tauco and then the tomato paste. Or rather tomato puree. Again, the ingredients are all in the description link. And remember to like and share, guys. This is a very easy recipe for you to whip up this Hari Raya Haji, of course. And we allow a little bit of guests, not so many. You can still Zoom or FaceTime your family members. That's what I do most of the time. I do miss my family interactions, but hey, we gotta make do with what we have. So I'm gonna add the tamarind paste. Okay. And we're gonna season it later. We're just gonna let this cook first. 3 minutes, 120 degrees at speed 1. Okay, you wanna boil it. Okay. Let's check on our bihun. You can do this earlier, of course. Like I said, I just wanted to wait for the eggs to boil. I didn't want to, boil another pot of kettle and then, waste some water for this live show. So I'm just going to cut the bee hoon. Not so much. Okay. And I'm going to drain it using the simmering basket as well. Okay. Okay, so I've got the remaining rempah over here, and I'm going to add the bee hoon inside. Okay, it's drained. I use the simmering basket. You can use a varma dish, but it's a little bit too big for me. I don't quite like using the varma dish for this. Okay, pour everything in. Just make sure you get the last bits of bee hoon. Okay, and you just want a little bit of the remaining water, not so much, just a splash. Okay, so I've got my bee hoon, I've got my rempah paste inside. I'm just going to cook it for 2 minutes. Okay, at speed 100, and then we're going to do reverse at speed 2. Okay, and I have the spatula inside here so that it will help to stir fry help to turn the bee hoon a little bit more. Okay. Right. Okay, it's looking really good. All right. Now, we're almost done. Can you believe it? Okay, so our sauce is ready. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to season it now. Just give it a good stir. Okay, and I've got my sugar. So, okay, never mind. I think I'm just going to add about 3 tablespoons. Oh, and our stir-fried bee hoon is also ready, and I'm just going to add 1 teaspoon of salt. So you can see the many sounds of the Thermomix. I personally like this one better. I have mine on that sound. Okay, so I've seasoned it. I'm just going to cook it again. 2 minutes, another 120, and just speed 1. Okay, so I've seasoned my sauce. And our sauce is ready right now, so I'm just going to give it a stir and taste it, see if the seasoning is good for me. Oh, yum. I really love it. It's not too sour, not too spicy, although lately these days I don't know what's spicy anymore. Because my husband is not he doesn't like to eat spicy food, and when I cook I'm like, oh, this is not so spicy, I'm pretty sure it's okay for me, and it's okay for him, and then when he eats it he's like, how much chili did you put inside? I want to die. Okay, I'm just gonna peel the eggs. So like I said, you can prepare this ahead of time. You don't have to prepare everything all in one go, because essentially, really, this Mee Siam recipe is pretty fast once you have all the garnish ready. Once you have the eggs, a lot of the time is actually just spent on the eggs. The rempah and the sauce takes up, like, I don't know, a maximum of 15 minutes maybe. Okay. And truly, it's a lot of things are already available at home. Well, if you cook a lot, you should have most of the ingredients at home. I'm just gonna get a bowl. Okay, and this recipe is again good for gatherings, good for serving. I mean, it is light for Hari Raya. It's very fast and simple. It's pretty much everything that you have at home. Okay, Yeah, and you know, since Hari Raya is not really a big celebrations now because mosques are still closed, you know, I mean, you can go in, but there won't be any mass prayer session, so you can just, I mean, this is pretty easy for a small gathering at home. It's fast also, it's a great breakfast dish. And there you go. So dry bihun is ready. I'm just gonna plate it up. Got a nice bowl over here. The thing about bihun, you don't know how much you're eating. Because it's so, you know, it's so light and you tend to still be hungry. I mean, I don't know about you, but I tend to still be hungry when I'm done eating a bowl of Mee Siam. Okay, so I've got that done. I'm just gonna pour the sauce first because I don't like my garnish to be wet. Just a little bit more. Okay. This is perfect for maybe about 5 or so, but you know, if you got small eaters, more people to feed then. Okay. Chives. Got my tau po. Got my bean sprouts. And a beautiful parsley over here just for decor purposes, and I'm just gonna clean it up before I show you guys the end product. And of course, one beautiful lime, 2 beautiful lime, up to you how many you want. And we're done. That's our beautiful plate of Mee Siam, ready to serve to your guests this Hari Raya Haji. Now remember to like and share this video and like our Facebook page, and remember to serve this for your guests on Hari Raya Haji. See you guys soon!